Hey guys, what's going on? I'm the Midlife YouTuber, and I have a message for you guys. And it's important to me. And that's what's important to me, is what's important to me. In fact, I have a really good idea that what's important to you is what's important to you. So, okay, this is already getting stupid. So before I get into exactly what today's topic is, I want to remind everybody to please like, comment, and subscribe. And please do me a favor. If you know somebody who appreciates this kind of content, and somebody who's trying to grow their YouTube channel, somebody who's trying to grow themselves as a person, or somebody who just wants to feel better about themselves and get a little message of positivity, or perhaps somebody who finds sexy bearded men sexy and alluring and would like to watch a video with me, please share this content with them. Why would you do that? Because sharing is caring. That's right, and I'm Midlife YouTuber Bear. So, now that that's out of the way, we're going to talk about the psychology of resonating. So what the hell does resonating mean? So resonating, as in the way something resonates with you, the way a frequency resonates, the way that your body is in tune with something and picks up on it. So basically, it's the psychology of self-referencing. And that pretty much means that you are going to pay attention to what's important to you more than you will anything else. So if you're watching TV, and as a guy, I'm sitting there watching TV and a commercial comes on for makeup. I don't wear makeup, I don't pay attention to that. Now maybe makeup that my wife wears or my girlfriend wears or whoever, maybe makeup that my daughter would like. But you know what? I'm not paying attention to it, and it's not important to me because it's not important to me. I don't wear makeup, so it's not important to me. Okay? But now a commercial comes on for a new fishing rod. Well, got to catch my first fish. So now I pay attention to it. So now I'm watching this commercial because it's important to me. I'm paying attention to it. The same way it works with books, TV shows, all advertising. If it resonates with you, then it's important to you. And if it's important to you, you pay attention more. And you're more likely to buy that product. You're 1,000 times more likely to buy that product, or to watch that TV show, or to buy that book, or whatever it may be. So now here's the fun, tricky psychological part in self-resonating as it applies to YouTube and your creations. If you can find a way to do this kind of global resonance, and by that I mean if you find a way to make your creation, your video, your content, your message resonate globally with people all over the world, not just with one or two specific kinds of people, imagine how successful you could be. Think about the advertising campaigns that really took the world by storm. The ones that it doesn't matter that they had billboards up in Japan and China, and not just here in the United States. They were all over the world. Didn't matter what language people spoke, they knew the slogan, they knew the catchphrase. It was just everywhere. It was a cultural phenomenon. There's people that study the psychology of this stuff and work out, well, 2 words is better than 3 words, but if we add this or if we change that, and they do test after test after test to make sure that this stuff works so that it resonates with as many people as possible. So now think of the power of that applied to your YouTube channel, where instead of getting 50 views or 500 views, you're getting 500,000 views or 5 million views. All because you took the time to do a little research to study the psychology of it and figure out how your video can resonate with more people, how it can mean something to more people. So now how do you do that? That's the trick. So I'm going to give you 3 steps. And if you work on them for every single video, you're going to start seeing massive improvements in your views. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you, and it's going to seem kind of ridiculous when I say it, but let me explain. You need to pay attention. That's it. Step 1, pay attention. Pay attention to what? Everything. Every little fucking thing. Everything that matters to you, everything that means something to you, everything that has an emotional trigger or connection to you probably is going to have an emotional trigger or connection for most other people. If you're going through a breakup, you're not the only person who's ever gone through a breakup. Pay attention to the feelings, to the way that songs suddenly sound different, the way food tastes different. Something that everybody goes through. If you're expecting the birth of your first child, All parents have a first child. It's like catching a first fish, just without the hooks, I hope. Everybody who's ever had a kid is feeling the same things that you feel. They have the same emotional experience that you do. That's universal. It doesn't matter what country you're in or where you are. You have the same feeling, the same hope for the child, the same dreams for that child. Emotional connections, emotional feelings. You're not the only one that has emotions. You're not the only one who feels that way. Pay attention to the things that annoy you. Traffic, people having road rage, or you having road rage, or what's the cause of your road rage? What triggered you? What set you off? When you go off on a tangent about something, when you're talking to your friend and something annoys the hell out of you, somebody's chewing too loudly at the table next to you, or they're popping gum, or they have a high-pitched annoying voice. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to it and write it down. Write it down. Go in the notes on your phone and do it. Carry a little notebook with you. I always have a little notebook with me. And I write stuff down. If I notice something and I think, hey, that could have universal appeal, write it down. Write it down. Write out as much of exactly what it is. Give yourself all the detail. This is exactly what it is and what it means to me and how it made me feel. Which is actually step 2, writing it down. You're extracting. Take that idea from the ether, from your head, and put it down in a permanent form so that you have it, so that you can look at it. And I say write as much detail as possible about it. You want to write everything that you feel, everything that you think, and why you think it's going to resonate with other people. Why does everybody feel like when you're in the shower and you're home alone that someone's going to come through that door? Why do you feel like when you get in bed and you get comfortable that the monster under the bed is going to grab your feet? I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't think so. I really don't think so. And I know there's no monster under the bed. I know there's nobody under the bed. I know nothing's going to happen, but there's always that, like, I call it tacoing my blankets. I pick my feet up so that the blanket folds over my feet so that the blanket is there so that the monster under the bed can't grab me. Rawr, rawr, rawr. I do that. I swear to you, I do that every single night. I cannot go to bed without it. I cannot have the sheets tucked under the mattress, even though that would solve the same issue. Can't do it. It needs to be wrapped up under my feet, and it has to be all the way around. It's the way I am. And I know there's other people that feel that way. That's one of my things. What other things do you have? And extract it, take it from the ether, pluck it like an apple from a tree, polish it up. I'm not feeling myself up. Polish it up. Because the next step is going to be to take that paragraph or that page, that full explanation that you have, and now you're going to cut it down. And you're going to cut it down. And you're just going to keep whittling it down to get it to as few words as possible. The ideal would be 3 words. I would say definitely less than 5. Think about a line from a book or a line from a movie. When you do a line from a movie, it's just a quick, short line. And these are the things that everybody knows. You know, like Jerry Maguire, you had me at hello.
You had me at hello. You had me at hello.
You had me at hello. 5 words. Everybody knows that line. There's hundreds of lines from hundreds of movies that nearly everybody knows. And they're all short lines. They're quick little grabs. And it's just something that resonates with us. And that line from Jerry Maguire, it's not iconic just because of those 5 words. But it's the scene. It's that he finally shows up at the door and is finally confessing his love for this woman. And you've been waiting for it. You've been wanting this to happen because you felt something similar to that. You can relate to it. It's human experience. But we know that experience. We had that anxiety that he wasn't going to tell her. And then he shows up and he tells her, and you're waiting for this reaction. And all she says was, you had me at hello.
You had me at hello.
That tells you everything right there. Hey, that was a great fucking line in a great movie. Done expertly well. So take your whole explanation, whittle it down to as small as possible. final step is to bring it to life. How are you going to use this? You have a catchphrase. You have an idea. So great. So now you got your title, you got your thumbnail, because that's your idea right there. You got your title, you got your thumbnail, you have the whole explanation, which is basically your script. Now go out and film that. Or if we're not talking about a YouTube video, we probably are, but if we're talking about a book, well, now you have a very, very short synopsis, which is the best synopsis ever. I've said before, I love horror novels. I love horror movies. And if I read a synopsis that said something like, girl kills demon, well, that's pretty rad right there. I kind of want to read that book, you know? Grandma becomes monster. 3 words, real simple. Tells you enough, but tells you almost nothing, and yet everything. So you have your idea, now you just have to bring it to life. You plucked the fruit, now do something with it. Bake a pie with it. Do the creative thing that you're doing with this idea in a way that is going to resonate with as many people as possible. What is the universal truth in what you're communicating? And how can you communicate it so that everybody sees it and goes, holy shit, I thought that was just me? Because that is your litmus test right there. When somebody sees that, when they see what you created, and they say those words, I thought I was the only one.
I thought I was the only one.
You know you struck gold. Because that's how we all feel. We all feel that this one quirky thing about us, like me having to tuck my feet up under the blankets. Which, comment down below if you do the same thing, because I want to know how many people. So comment that down below. I know other people feel that way, but yet I still feel like I'm the only one. Am I? I don't think so. And when I explain it to somebody and they go, oh man, I do that too. I thought I was the only one. Holy shit. Now I don't feel weird anymore. I don't feel like it's this weird quirky thing that I do. It's something that other people do too. Well, that's fantastic. Universal truth. Now you know that other people feel that way. You put this thing out to the world and they are going to come in droves to your videos. Or they're going to buy your book in droves. They're going to go see your movie in droves. You're going to get more people because you found the universal truth in something. And then you were able to express it in a very brief way, because people have very short attention spans. So you get it in a very brief way, and then you set it free to the rest of the world and let everybody else come to you. So those are basically the 3 steps to get some self-referencing into your videos and to help you go viral, or to help you just increase your views in general by using a little bit of psychology, a small little tip, little trick, but a little kind of tricky thing right there that's going to help you to get more viewers. So, as always, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Now get out there, catch your first fish, and use some psychological tricks as bait. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.